Where will y'all find us camping now?
Today you'll find us camping at the Thousand Trails Wilmington RV Resort in Wilmington, Ohio. Let's get this tour started. As you pull in off the road, you pull into this parking area here by the front building. Everything's kind of different right now for COVID check-in policy. You can actually do it online. I think a lot of the parks are going to that now, so that's an option, but there's plenty of room here in the parking lot to pull over when you go check in when they get back to regular procedures. And you just circle through the parking lot and through the front gate, very similar to a lot of the Thousand Trail parks. This park has 3 loops, A loop, B loop, and C loop. They also have a swimming pool, horseshoe pits, 2 ponds. One is designated for canoeing because it's deeper than the other, but both of them offer catch and release fishing.
Up on the right up here, you'll see the propane fill-up station. I don't know the hours on that. Evidently they fill it up right there.
So they do offer 4 types of sites at this park. They have elite sites, which are water, electric, sewer, and 50 amp. There's only a few of those. Then there's premium sites, which have water, electric, sewer, and 30 amp service. Also have standard sites, which are water, electric, and sewer, and 30 amp. So I'm not sure the difference other than maybe location and size of the site. And then they have value sites, which are water, electric, and 30 amp, no sewer. This is the dump station, which is conveniently located right by the exit. As I mentioned, a lot of the sites here don't have sewer hookup, so this would be a must. They do have a honey wagon that comes around on Thursdays. So if you were here for a long stay and you wanted them to come to your site versus, you know, having to unhook and pull all the way up here if you didn't have your own way to do that, they do offer that service. We're only here for the weekend, and we were fortunate enough to get a site that has water, electric, and sewer.
Does anybody know why it's called a honey wagon? Because my honey isn't gonna do that.
It's pretty disgusting. Okay, so we're gonna make our first stop the A loop. A loop is a mix of premium and value sites. So all of these have water, electric, 30 amp site. Some of them have sewer, some of them do not. This is also the loop that has the mini golf and the laundry facility and an adult center that we just passed, or adult lodge, whatever you'd like to call it. Place to go and be quiet and not have kids around.
This road's a little bumpy, a little rutted out. Looks like it rained. So we might be a little jumpy on our voices.
We have learned since we've been here that this park does have an outside service that comes and mows once a week, and I don't recall what day it was. I want to say Wednesday, but so if you have a site here, an annual, or if you're coming to visit, you can just know that they will be through to mow on Wednesdays. I'm assuming that's weather permitting, but everything is very well maintained from what we've seen. The grass is mowed in all the common areas and at all the sites. Everything's pretty uniform, which is really nice.
It is a very nice looking park compared to some of the other ones that we have seen.
Over here on our left is going to be the bathhouse for A loop. And then now on your left is going to be the game room.
Here's your 9-hole mini putt-putt golf. Looks to be in pretty good shape.
So here's the laundry facility. This is in A Loop. Again, another area that everything seems to be fairly clean. 4 washers, a sink, 4 dryers down here, a rod for hanging and a table for folding. All laundry machines are $1.50 a load, so $1.50 to wash, $1.50 to dry. The only thing I don't see here is there is no soap or fabric softeners or anything for sale, and that just really varies campground to campground. So now we're going to cross the street, pull into B Loop. B Loop are all value sites, so there's no sewer over here. Water, electric, 30 amp. This area does also have its own playground, and I'm not sure what this other game is. We're going to pull up and take a look at. It's like dodgeball, but it's within this little, I don't know, fenced-in area. They call it Gaga Ball, and the rules are posted. But it is a form of dodgeball that's normally played in a pit, is what it says. Then they have the swing set and looks like some soccer nets set over there to the side. And then you can't see it in this footage, but in the drone footage, it looks to be maybe a dirt track for RC cars over behind the storage area here on the right. B Loop also backs right up to one of the fishing ponds that is catch and release, and then we'll circle around the edge of the pond and take you down to the basketball court. There is, of course, no swimming in this pond, but catch and release fishing.
I don't think I really want to swim in that pond. But it's well taken care of.
Yeah, the banks of the pond are all, you know, there's no weeds and stuff growing up around, so you can walk right down to the water if you're fishing. That's really nice. Some of the parks we've been to, that's not been the case. Some of the parks, the grass around the edges is so tall, you don't want to stand in it. And down here is the basketball court and what looks to have at one time been a tennis court, but there's no nets there now. So I guess you can play basketball, but there'll be no tennis court, no tennis playing or pickleball playing.
This looks like the worst part of the park.
And then over here across this little field is the second pond. Again, no swimming, but catch and release fishing. And I did see on the map that this is also listed as the pond to canoe in. And we were told by one of the members that that's because this pond is deeper. And they do have a picnic table, it looks like, over on one side of the bank. So you could bring your lunch down if you wanted to and do some fishing and picnic. Oh, and there's a picnic table on this side too.
Once again, very clean on the edges. Very easy to fish from.
The water looks pretty clean too. We're going to skip driving through the rest of B Loop because we're just going to run across this field here and take a look at the pool. And there's like a little recreational area there, building by the pool. I'm not sure that that's open right now either, but at least you'll see what it's all about. They do have a full-size pool, they have a kiddie pool, and they do have a hot tub or jacuzzi, whichever you prefer to call it. And all of those amenities seem to be open.
The hot tub is open right now.
The hot tub is open. And then also over here they have, looks like a volleyball court. It's sand and the posts are up, but the net isn't. And again, that could be because of everything that's going on right now. And then a nice playground that's mulched all around the bottom. So tetherball pole, but no ball on it, and disc golf. I don't know what you call the thing that you throw the frisbees at for disc golf, but anyway, the cage or whatever you call it is there.
We were told that the pool is heated, but I guess the heater is broke right now, so.
I don't think it needs heat right now, so hopefully it'll be heated by the time they need to use that.
And it looks like they might have outdoor movies for movie night right here.
Oh yeah, there's the big screen. So another thing that they do have here. So also in this building is a bathhouse and restrooms.
And on the
And
back side,
here's the dumpsters.
There's some dumpsters.
There are also dumpsters, I don't think we mentioned, up by the office when you first pull in. So I should hit those on your way out.
There's the horseshoes.
Horseshoe pit, and looks like what used to be probably shuffleboard. There's a picnic table there now, so maybe not anymore, but the horseshoe pits look like they probably get a lot of use. Now we're headed to C Loop. C Loop seems to be a mixture of all the different sites available here. Everything from 50 amp to just water and electric. And there are 2 cabins in C Loop. They're straight in front of us. And this loop is a heavily wooded area, so lots of trees, lots of shade. So it might not be so bad if you only had 30 amp, because you wouldn't need to run multiple air conditioners. So, well, he would need to run multiple air conditioners.
Big guys sweat, big guys get hot.
But as far as having to only use 30 amp, at least there's some shade, so that would help with the heat.
So far, what we have noticed in this park, it is very big rig friendly. You can get your camper around here. There's not a lot of trees on any of the corners. It's pretty straight shots. Most of the sites, as you can see, are pretty level and huge.
And they're very well kept. There are quite a few annuals in this park, but their sites are immaculate. There's no junk sitting around. Everything is tucked away in its place. There's nice landscaping, so all in all, that's really nice. We ended up getting a handicapped site, not because we necessarily needed one, but they were apparently a little overbooked this weekend and nobody had booked the handicapped site, so we got a pull-through site here right by the bathhouse. All of the bathhouses have handicapped sites right beside them. So this is the bathhouse right beside us in Loop C. So they do have the handicap site with seating in the shower, and then there's changing areas outside of each of the showers. Again, everything's freshly painted and everything's clean, just a little outdated is all. And there's another dumpster, so for our loop, there's the dumpster, I guess. But like I said, there's one on the way out too, so we're good. These are 2 of the 50 amp sites.
Like we said, as you can see, it is very wide open. No low tree branches. No trees on the edges.
It's funny because on the map, this area we're getting ready to go down says steep grade, not big rig friendly. We're both pretty sure that we could do it in our rig. We've been to places that were much steeper, but it is nice for them to note that because we have been to parks where there are steep grades where the back of our rig would drag because of the length, and there's no warning, there's no anything. You just end up there with no way to really easily get out. So it is nice that they do note that on the map. And there's apparently off to our left here, running behind these sites, a walking path that goes back through the woods. I think there's a creek back there that you can walk along. So here's one entrance to the walking path that I was talking about. You go across that little bridge and it goes down through the woods. The golf cart won't fit through there. But while we're pulled over for a second, I do want to put a plug in. We've met several people since we've been here. Everybody's been super, super friendly. And we were fortunate enough to meet a couple who owns a local bakery in town that is called the Neighborhood Nest. As you may or may not know, we try to follow a keto eating plan. We aren't super strict about it, but it is kind of difficult at times to find places. Well, it's just difficult at times to find good keto baked goods. And so the Neighborhood Nest is actually a gluten-free bakery, and they specialize, of course, in gluten-free items. And so we met this couple. They gave us some samples from their bakery of some different cakes to try, and some tortillas that they make that you can bake and like break into chips or use them as sandwich bread. We used them as toast with our breakfast this morning. So if you're ever in this area, please check them out, especially if you have some dietary restrictions, because everything we tasted was delicious. I'll put a link below so that you can find their exact location, but it is the Neighborhood Nest.
Check them out. Everything was delicious.
Okay guys, we're back at the Fusion. Just going to take a couple more minutes of your time. As always, the key question is, would we come back?
Yes, I would come back.
Maybe not when it was 100 degrees in the middle of the summer, which it's not right now, simply because
we need 50 amp.
We're a little spoiled with our air conditioner. However, the weather here today is beautiful. It's August and it's in the mid-70s, so that's great. A lot of people don't run their air conditioner at all. Let's see a lot of windows and doors open.
Not me, guys.
Cell service here. We have AT&T. I think we got 3 bars.
3 bars.
We met some people that I think have Verizon. Their cell service, they said, was a little spotty here. So keep that in mind. We're fortunate ours is working great here.
We're going to start rating these a little bit. I'm going to give it 8 out of 10. I'm gonna take 2 points off just because there's not a lot of sewer around here and there is not 50 amp. So hopefully this will help people as we go along. We're gonna rate them a little bit. So my ratings is 8 out of 10.
Because it is a very well kept park. Well manicured, the grass is all mowed, the annual sites are very well landscaped, and it just seems really clean. It is a little dated. There are some of the facilities could be updated. They are clean and painted and whatever, but you can see the age. So that would probably be the only complaint, the fact that all the sites don't have sewer and that some of the buildings could be updated. Short of that, everything is really great.
So hopefully you guys are getting value out of these campground tours that we're doing, because we're actually having some fun riding around, showing you guys what we see around the campground. So if you are getting some value out of it, make sure you subscribe to us.
Don't forget to ring the bell.
Until the next time you find us camping.
Safe travels, everyone.